Hey, it's Nate, and today I am doing The Fool on the Hill by the Beatles. I've gotten a lot of requests for this one. It's got a really fun piano part with some super interesting chords. Let's jump in. Alright, so first off, I recommend you get the chords and lyrics chart. There's a link down in the description, and that'll help you follow along and see where the chords and the lyrics line up with each other. So we'll start out with the intro. It looks like this. It's just one measure of D6. So we're gonna voice it like this. So we've got a B, a D, an F sharp, and an A in the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 5 for the fingers. And with my first finger an octave lower, I'm just doing a D bass note. And this song is in 4/4 time. So this and all the measures get 4 counts, and it's a slow count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And for this intro, all we're doing is holding the left hand note and just hitting those quarter notes with the right hand. 2, 3, 4. And then the first verse would start. Here's the chords to the verse. It starts out with another measure of that D6, but something interesting happens as soon as we start the verse. We're going to start playing eighth notes in the right hand. So thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, then we've got this E minor 7 over D. So in the right hand, we've got D, E, G, and B. And then we're just keeping that D in the left hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then it repeats again. But Paul starts doing octaves right here in the piano. So I am going to start doing that. But you can totally do this just keeping it on single bass notes if that is a stretch. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that little trick I did there, he does that throughout the song, just hitting the top octave first, just anticipating the downbeat slightly. So you can throw that in wherever you hear it. Okay, now we've got this E minor 7. So it's the exact same in the right hand, but the octaves are gonna come up to this E, and that's only for 2 counts or 4 hits of the eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm hopping down here to this root position, A major chord, hopping the octaves as well. Coming from up here, I like doing 1, 2, and 3 for the fingers there, A, C sharp, and E. Now we have another measure where we've got 2 chords. We've got D6, just like we did it, and then B minor 7. So these 2 notes are gonna stay the same. We're gonna drop that top note and take the bottom note down to an A. And 1, 2, 3 for the fingers works really nice there. And then we just repeat the E minor 7 to the A. So let me just count through that whole verse. And I'll play the intro too so you can feel how those quarter notes switch to eighth notes right when the verse starts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 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 2 and 3 and 4 and then we would be going into the chorus. Here's the chords to the chorus where suddenly it goes minor. So we're gonna start out with this D minor voiced with an A, D, and F, so an inversion, and I'm gonna be on octaves down here. But let's just take a moment and feel out the playing pattern of this section because it changes the vibe. The right hand is overall going to do quarter notes, and the left hand is going to be doing eighth notes on the octaves. Down, up, down, up. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and if we were just staying on the D minor, it would sound like this. So get a hang of that playing pattern first. But we've got a little bit more going on here because on the second count, it goes to a B flat over D and then back to D minor for the third and fourth counts of that measure. So all that needs to change is this A can step up to a B flat, keeping the D octaves. I like using my second finger there when we're going back and forth between those two chord shapes. So that happens on the second count, and you can think of it as on. The fool on the hill sees the... So just playing on every quarter note in the right hand. Now we are going to go back to that B flat over D, and we're going to stay on that for the whole measure on sun going down and the... So this is a really interesting chord here. C9 over G. So in the right hand, we've got a E, a G, a B flat, and a D. We're going to continue that playing pattern, going back and forth with G octaves down here. Now you might be wondering, why is it C9? There are no C's here. This is what Paul does on the piano. I listened to the isolated track, but bass on the recording or some instrument also then hits the C root, and that's how we hear the chord. And so the way I like to work that in is like this. So just on one of the counts where you would do another low G before going back up, I'm going to use my second finger on the C, and that's going to hit on the word head. And the eyes in his head see the... Okay, now we are on to the world spinning round. So this part is really cool. So we've got back to the D minor, just like we voiced it. And then we're immediately gonna do this little melody. It's gonna go B flat, B, C. And I like doing those fingers. 2, cross first finger under, and then C on the second finger. And then we're essentially landing on a D minor 7 chord here. We're gonna just hit those 3 notes, A, C, and F. And I'll talk about the timing in a second. But one more time, just listen. World spinning round. So here are the counts here when we get to that D minor chord. So in the left hand, you can see the timing there just on the 1 and 2. And to count this, we need 16th notes. That's why I've got 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a. So on that first count, we hit the D minor chord. On count 2, that's where we do that. B flat the second. E and a. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4. You're going to hit that D minor 7 chord on the fourth count. And you can see where it interacts with the left hand hits. Notice that the high D hits on the and after 2 between notes of the right hand melody. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. And then back to the chorus chords here. There's one more measure here where we hit a D6. So that's sort of announcing the return of the verse in a moment. So we're just gonna hit it and just do the full 8 notes. 4 and then we would be in the next verse. Play through that one more time. So coming into that first chorus, but the fool on the hill sees the sun going down, and the eyes in his head see the world spinning round. Cool. And that reminded me, a really good way to remember the rhythm on is that it's on spinning round. So after that chorus, we're on to the second verse. It looks like this. Same thing as the first verse, although I didn't write it here, but it is in parentheses on your chords and lyrics chart. In the second line, the first A there, it's the only time he does it in this song, but he gets to that A and then drops the thumb. It's the thumb drop trick to make it an A dominant 7, just on the fourth count there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you're welcome to throw that in if you like. So let me play through that whole verse. Well, on the way, his head in a cloud, the man of 1,000 voices talking but nobody ever hears him or the sound he appears to make, and he never seems to notice but the fool. So then we would be in the second chorus. So here's the chorus to the chorus again. The second chorus is just like the first chorus, except for on that last D6, we're going to do something a little different as we get ready for the first instrumental section. Here's what the last two measures sound like. Okay, so here is the timing here, and I have highlights on where you're going to hit the right hand. This is at the end, the fourth count of the D minor 7 moment. So we've just done world, spinning, round, 4E and So 4E on the D minor 7, and then we hit the D6 on the before. So the D6 hits a 16th note earlier than where you would expect. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1 and 2, 3E and a 4E. One more time slow, but if this is overwhelming, you could totally just stick with the quarter notes or make up your own rhythm here. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1 and 2 and 3E and a 4E and then we are in the first instrumental. So here's the chords for the instrumental. Of course, this is where the flute solo is. Chord-wise, it is the exact same thing as the first line of the verses. But we're going to start doing this staccato feel. So I've been using the sustain pedal the whole time, just quick little lift when the chords change. But here, no sustain pedal. And we're going to do back and forth between D and A. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And so the left hand does not change between the two chords. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's all there is to it. Now, of course, there is the flute melody, and I thought some of you might like to learn how to play it, even though you really need 3 hands to do it all. But if you want to somehow work it into your arrangement, here are the notes. We've got So I like using second finger there on the F sharp and then just crossing the first finger under. F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, G, A, B, B. And then we can just move our first finger up to the A. A, B, C sharp, D, 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 C sharp, A, B, E, E, E. I'll do that one more time slowly. Now, of course, this comes back for the second instrumental and the outro. And those times the flute does that little trill flourish at the end. If you want to throw that in when you do the B, E, 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 you could hop your fingers, ending up on the second finger, because that is much easier to do the trill on, and that's just back and forth between the E and the F sharp. But that's all totally optional. Again, you would need 3 hands, but I thought I'd throw that in. So after that instrumental, we have the third verse. And the third and fourth verses are shorter than the others, and they actually just look like this. It's the same as the second line only of the first and second verses. And nobody seems to like him. They can tell what he wants to do. And he never shows his feelings, but and then we are in another chorus. So here's that next chorus. Once again, same thing, but for this time, the D6 is a little bit different again. We're gonna do world spinning round. So this time it hits the D minor 7 on 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4 and then so like the end of the first chorus where we just do the 8th notes here. Then we're in the second instrumental. Here's what the second instrumental looks like. Of course, this is where the flute solo is again, but this time it ends a little bit different as we kind of lead into the climactic verse 4 here. So the first 3 measures are the exact same, and there's a little more ad-lib vocals with the round and round and round. So that last measure, the first count is on the regular E minor 7 over D, but then we go to E minor 7 over G, and those dashes are for counts 3 and 4. So working backwards rhythmically here, we're only on the E minor 7 over D for the first count, and then we hit that G octaves bass note on count 2. So that's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and just notice that when I hit that G, I brought the sustain pedal back down. So the vibe changes a little bit there. Which brings us right into verse 4, which looks like that. So like verse 3, it's only that last line from the verses. We're going to do one thing different here, which is for the E, we've been doing it up here the whole time. For this one E in the song, we're going to go down here. This is the biggest moment of the song when we do, and he never listens to them. You know that they're the fool. This time we can go up. They don't like him, the fool. Then we've got another chorus just like the others. Nothing too special about this chorus, and it will be one of the ones where when we get to the D6, we're just gonna hit and hold the left hand while pulsing eighth notes in the right. And then we are in the outro. The outro looks like this. So just like the first instrumental section, but the recording fades out here. You can try to do that. Round and round. So the song is all faded out by here. So for my version, I'm just going to hit one final D6. And then the song is over. Okay, thank you for sticking with me. I will now do a full playthrough so you can see how all the parts fit together. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and click the bell so you know when I put out more videos like this one. Okay, here's my version of The Fool on the Hill. Day after day, alone.